Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Tuesday the 21st of July and you're going to have to bear with me for this video because it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. I've got so much information that I need to talk to you about. I've even had to draw a mind map to try and figure this out myself. So, news broke yesterday that the CEO of Republic, which is a company that wants to abolish the monarchy, has filed a report against the Royal Foundation, which is William and Kate's charity, and Sussex Royal Foundation, which is Harry and Meghan's charity, to the Charity Commission for Inappropriate Use of Funds, Lack of Independence and Conflicts of Interest. Now, it took a while for it to hit the news, but hit the news it has, and in spectacular style. So you remember my previous video where I reported that the Royal Foundation have transferred around about £300,000 to Sussex Royal when they split. Now this was a grant that could have been used for Travelist or for it to be used for whichever charity that they seemed fit within their Sussex Royal scope. Obviously that hasn't happened because Sussex Royal is now winding up. That cash has been transferred to none other than Travelist. So Republic claimed that £145,000 was transferred from the Royal Foundation to Sussex Royals, and they also claimed that the Royal Foundation gave £144,901 to Travelist, Harry's eco-tourism scheme. The Republic claimed that this was the basis of Harry and William's relationship alone. So they claimed that they were only gifted that amount of money because of the relationship between Harry and William. Now, Sussex Royal, as we speak, is being wound up. It's a little bit tricky at the moment because nobody can seem to really get a response. Some people are saying they're in liquidation. Some people are saying they're insolvent. Some people are saying that it's solvent liquidation. All three are very, very different. Now, the Charities Commission website says that it's insolvent. It also implies on a screenshot that I have been sent of the filing documents that the liquidators have been appointed. This doesn't necessarily ring alarm bells as such because liquidators come in when a company is being wound up. They basically have a look to see if the company has any debts, any accruals or anything like that. And then once they've got that all set out in stone, then they can distribute any assets to whichever the directors of Sussex Royal decide to distribute them to. So why on earth has that amount of money already been transferred to Travelist? That's what I want to know. If the liquidators are there at the moment, going through everything that the company needs to be wound up, why has the transfer gone ahead? Surely that should be part of the liquidators' agreement. The Royal Foundation transferred the funds in December to Sussex Royal. They weren't aware that Sussex Royal was going to be wound up. And of course, Harry and Meghan would have assumed that they would have been allowed to use Sussex Royal after Brexit. Now, the crux of the matter is that Republic disagree with the fact that when this gift or grant was gifted from the Royal Foundation to Sussex Royal, it was transferred from a non-profit to non-profit organisation, which both the Royal Foundation and Sussex Royal are. That is fine. You can transfer assets between non-profit to non-profit within reason. Where the difficulty now lies and what people have an issue with is that Travelist is not a non-profit. However, people say it, even though Harry has hit back. I'll get onto that in a little bit. But Travelist is not a non-profit. It is a PLC. And Prince Harry holds 75% of the shareholding, which denotes that he has control of the company. Anybody with over 51% holds the majority. That is their problem with this transfer of the funds. If it was from the Royal Foundation to Sussex Royal and it was still going ahead and the company was still forging forward, they wouldn't have had an issue. I don't think so anyway. But the fact that it was transferred to Travelist and it's a public limited company and not non-profit, there lies the issue. Now, the Charities Commission is investigating this. How long we have to wait for that, I don't know, but a lot of heat is coming Harry's way. Now, Harry has hit back in spectacular form. He has got his lawyers, which is shillings, same lawyers that he's using, Meghan's using to sue the Mail on Sunday. And it's a doozy of an announcement. It says the spokesperson for the Duke of Sussex legal team, Shillings, said, "The Duke of Sussex has always and continues to remain deeply committed to his charitable work. This is his life's focus, and his devotion to the charity is at the very core of the principles he lives by, and is obvious through the impact and success of his many charitable projects throughout the UK and beyond. To this point, it is deeply offensive to today see false claims made about the Duke of Sussex and his charitable work. It is both defamatory and insulting to all the outstanding organisations and people he has partnered with. Travelist, which was founded within Sussex Royal, is a non-profit organisation which the Duke receives no commercial or financial gain, and is the case with all of his charitable commitments. The Duke has not, nor never has, had any personal financial interest in his charitable work. The interest has always been clear to support others and to make a positive difference. Had the appropriate course of action been followed for these false allegations, it would have clearly demonstrated that anything related to Sussex Royal, Travelist, or any of the Duke's charitable endeavours is transparent and above board. To suggest otherwise, it is equivalently wrong and will be acted upon accordingly with the weight of the law. The avenue through which this was publicly and scandalously created only suggests a hunger for media attention as well as a shared and attacking agenda, which is neither right nor just. Both the Charities Commission's own statement today, as well as that of the Royal Foundation, state there is no determination of wrongdoing here. All of the Duke's charitable activities are fully transparent as well as compliant with the Charity Commission guidelines and moreover with his own moral compass. Well, Harry's spoiling for a lawsuit now, isn't he? Now, I get that he had to legally defend himself, although he did it rather quickly and rather spectacularly in tantrum style. If there are inaccuracies with transfers between non-profit to PLC companies, then people need to know, and quite rightfully so, Republic have responded to this. It's not okay to transfer funds from one to the other when it's not a charity. No matter how much you say, this is a PLC. It needs to say non-profit or charity. The Royal Foundation, of course, Republic have hit back and tweeted last night, perhaps instead of being irritable when questions are raised about his charity, Prince Harry might like to meet us to discuss equality, monarchy, and his future role in British life. He'd be the first to benefit from Britain being a republic. Come on, Harry, let's have a chat. I find that quite funny, actually, because they're almost baiting him. Can you imagine the steam coming out of Harry's ears because he's so adamant about privacy and not being questioned about anything that this is going to get his heckles up, and it has. He's bit back in spectacular style. Will Harry sue Republic? That's what I want to ask. While I am adamant that this needs to be looked into and transparency needs to be given, I do think Republic went about it in the completely wrong way. They should have waited for the Charities Commission's decision before going public. This looks like baiting to me, and it looks like a massive PR exercise. They should have waited for the decision before going public. That would be the professional thing to do. The thing that I keep coming back to over and over again, and I'm not the only one that keeps coming back to it, everybody is shouting about the Disney money. Where's the money, Harry? This $3 million that Disney gifted to Sussex Royal, where is the money? Because if it's in Sussex Royal Holdings, does that mean it's going to be also transferred to Travelist? I'd just like to add that when all of this hit back, when Meghan's popularity was plummeting in November after the whole South African tour, that's when they started to really take a nosedive, when they stated that they were suing the Mail on Sunday, saying that they were surviving and not thriving. They hired Sunshine Sachs. Big hoo-ha in the press that they'd hired this gung-ho, ruthless PR firm. As is their right, questions were asked who was paying for this very expensive, who, by the way, are 12th in the world of PR firms, who was going to be paying for this expensive price tag that they would be billing them. Buckingham Palace confirmed that the money for Sunshine Sachs was coming out of Sussex Royal. Who paid for that? Did Disney pay for it? What is going on over at Sussex Royal / Travelist? I really want to know. Now, I've just come across a very interesting tweet by Clowin Good Trouble. They have said that Travelist does not meet the criteria set out by Article 24 of the company reg number 120776679. Sussex Royal shouldn't have transferred funds out of that until Travelist was ready in terms of Articles of Association being compliant. Simple enough. So let's have a look at Article 24 of their incorporation documents. Now, Article 24 covers the dissolution of the company. Members of the trustees may at any time before and in exceptions of its dissolution resolve that any net assets of the charity, after all its debts and liabilities have been paid or provision has been made for them, shall, on or behalf of the dissolution of the charity, be given or transferred to some other charity, society, institution, or organisation having objects similar to those of the charity, and which shall be established for charitable purposes only, and which shall profit the distribution of its income and property amongst its or their members to an extent at least as great as imposed on the charity by these articles. That basically says that you have to gift any assets to a similar charity, an existing similar charity or / non-profit. That's not the case. Sussex Royal was non-profit. Travelist is a PLC, and there does seem to be an argument against the fact that this may have broken the charity's commission rules. But it's a very grey area, and only the charity's commission can decide whether or not the rules have been broken. Do you think Harry's statement via his lawyers covered everything? Do you think it was a tantrum? Do you think it was hitting back in all might using his power as part of the royal family because he can? Or do you think the Republic have a right to question these transfers between a non-profit, i.e. the Royal Foundation and Sussex Royal, to a PLC, i.e. Travelist? Do you think we as taxpayers have a right to transparency when it comes to the finances of the royal family? And that tweeter has come back again with another amazing bit of research. He said that the original lawyers, which were CMS CMNO LLP, bungled a number of things on the filing on 3rd of April, and funds shouldn't have been transferred into Travelist until the Articles of Association had been remedied. Quite the bungle, and Republic have not been defamatory. And I quite rightly agree with them, because looking at 24 in those Articles of Incorporation, no transfer should have been made between Sussex Royal to Travelist till everything had been remedied with the dissolution of the company, i.e. the liquidators coming in, separating the assets, and then dividing them up and deciding as trustees where they should go. It shouldn't have been transferred. And that in itself looks extremely dodgy to me. They've got a lot of answers to be given, I think, Sussex Royal. And I don't think Harry's bungling, rambling letter via Schilling's lawyers is going to cover it. His threat was very, very clear. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if, as always, he threatens yet more legal action. I would love to know your thoughts on this whole sticky mess. I'm sorry it's been such a mind twister, because there's been so much information that I've had to gather and then articulate to get it down in a sensible, coherent way to be able to put it down to video. But I hope that it's come across as clear and concise, because I'm blown away by all of this, and this is going to look incredibly bad. Not only Harry, but for the royal family as well. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.